$10,000 of ad spend versus 100 hours door knocking, which one is better? I have personally spent millions of dollars on solar and roofing ads, but I have personally never door knocked, so I talked to a ton of people and found an expert who has spent hundreds of hours of door knocking to see what results they're getting, to see where you should be spending your time and money. Today we have Amir with us. So Amir has put hundreds of hours into door knocking and roofing in Texas. He's been around tons of reps, so I'm gonna try to pull some information out of him and see if he can give you any tips and tricks on how you guys can get more efficient on the doors. So Amir, I'll give you the mic. Introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? So I'm Amir. Been door knocking for quite a while out in Texas. It's like a stormy area, so there's quite a lot of hailstorms, insurance claims mostly. If you're up north, then different industry. But yeah, now I work with NCT. Really looking forward to the interview.
Yeah, let's do it, dude. So walk me through your average day door knocking. So on your average day, like how many appointments you think you would set, just like on average?
Like it really depends on the season, because like some seasons, like during I would say like Q2, Q4, or rather like end of Q3. So spring and fall, essentially. That's where like the majority of the jobs are done. Exactly.
Yeah, got you.
Now, the rest of the year, kind of slower, kind of more like referral based, but depending on the pipeline or whatever. But the appointments in general, like most of the guys in my office, because I had a pretty big office, seen a lot of guys like come and go.
How many guys do you think in your office?
Like 13, 14, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but like with the average guys, they get like 1, 2 a day, like appointment set, I would say. And like during peak season, some guys get like, 8 to 12. So yeah, so it really depends there. But yeah, those are the appointments set essentially, and then from there it just goes to the actual like I guess adjuster meetings, and then when we get that, then we get the claim, etc., and then we close the job.
Got it. And when you're knocking in a day, like those average guys that you're like in your office, how many hours are they putting in, you think?
I mean, they would stay like in the beginning, start from like 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
Now, the guys sometimes they don't actually do that. Like that's why those guys get cut pretty quick. But the idea is to like start at 9, go to the office, get your claims in, call the actual companies. Takes like 20 minutes. Sometimes I get a hold of companies like State Farm. They're the pain in the ass, I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, from there we would just go straight to the field, maybe get a lunch, and then just knock doors from the rest of it. Yeah.
Got it. So you said your average guys were getting like 1, 2 every day?
Yeah. So pretty much like they have about 100 doors they're supposed to knock. Some guys knock more, some guys knock less. But yeah, more or less like 2 out of the 100 that turn to appointments.
Got it. And then out of those appointments that you're setting, like obviously these are like estimates I'm asking for here, but like how many approximately you think would sit, how many like you think would close like on average that you saw in your office?
Yeah, so I mean the average was like anywhere from like 30% to like maybe 35.
For the sit rate or the close rate?
For the close rate, yeah.
Got it.
The sit rate would be like decent, like 60, 70.
Okay.
Because as long as the setter like does its job, some guys just can't set for the life. But hey, we're not talking about those guys. Now, as for the close rate, for me it was around like 4 to 5 out of 10. So I have like 10 appointments I sit with, probably 4 or 5 are closing. Because obviously some stuff happens to the other 5,
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's the idea of it, man. That's the average numbers.
It's a pretty good close rate, dude.
Yeah, man. I'm decent for sure. It's like in the industry, it's like. There's a whole range, right? Because I don't want to like say like I'm the top closer ever in the nation. Because there's always like growth to be had, no matter what it is.
For sure, 100%. So 60, 70% show rate. You guys are you were closing like 40, 45, right?
Yeah.
Got it. So average guy doing 1 to 2 sets. I'm curious, like for you and the guys that you were seeing in your office, in terms of like actual roofs, actual deals, jobs put up like every month. Like what would you say the numbers look like there?
Not enough. We gotta get more every day. But if I had to like give an average, like typically, even if you're like complete garbage, you gotta get at least like 1 job a week. You know what I mean? But during like peak season, I would say some guys they would get like 5 a week.
5 a week.
Yeah, because like that, you know the numbers based on the inspections, the close, whatever. But yeah, about 5 a week I would say is like the top numbers, and then the average would be maybe like 2 a week.
Not during storm, just like average over the year.
If it was like the entire year, because if it's like during not peak times, maybe somebody wouldn't get a job for like weeks.
Yeah.
But other times they would get a job like like every other day, just like a hot streak or something like that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm curious. So like, based on your opinion, obviously like put hundreds of hours knocking, and you've seen like tons of guys that come and go like in the office that you were pretty much in like a management spot in. What would you say are like the upsides of knocking and roofing and the downsides of knocking and roofing?
The upside's the culture for sure, because I gotta say, like when I went paintball with the guys, it was amazing, because I don't know if you guys like played paintball ever, but
like a thing you guys do.
It's like every week we just go over like do like our weekly team nights, and it would be like paintball one day, maybe like hunting another, and it's like it's great to have that kind of environment because it always hypes all the guys up, and they're all like I'm ready to go, I'm ready to rock.
Yeah.
And then it just helps the sales numbers as well. So there is that.
For sure.
So Mondays are usually slow, but for our office, it was better just because Friday we had a great night, and then Monday we kind of reminisce over those thoughts, and it goes really well. So I guess that's the upside. But when it comes to the downsides, when you're in the truck and you're like, the hardest door they say in knocking in general is like the truck door. You're in the truck, you're like, damn, I gotta get out, I gotta go in the sun, especially in like the summer heat.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to Texas, man, but yeah, it's like the heat in the summer. I gotta tell you, it's different.
And it sticks to you, dude.
It sticks to you.
It's bad.
Yeah, and then it was funny because I actually had a story one time. I was knocking these doors. This one nice lady just gave me watermelons just because she had them in her hands. I was like,
sweating your ass
I was just
off.
like, can I get some watermelon? She was like, yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely the other side to it, right? So it's like sometimes you get days without getting an appointment, and it boosts. It like hurts your morale almost, and then you think like, damn, am I gonna like really stay out for another like 5 hours, not get anything again?
Yeah.
And then just not consistent. And then some days are great, some weeks are great, some weeks are just complete garbage. So it depends. Even with the top closers, there's some weeks where they don't get anything. Yeah. So yeah, it really, that's the other side to it.
So like ebbs and flows, but with knocking, like in the ebbs, you're like in the heat for 12 hours, just like knocking.
Yeah.
Just hoping some nice lady will give you some watermelon if you don't set an appointment.
Pretty much, yeah.
Got it. Okay, perfect. And I'm curious as well, because I see a lot of stuff on like knocking overall. Like I wonder if you have any like tips or tricks or anything that like made you efficient on the doors and what you've seen like other guys in the office be efficient, or is it just like truly just a numbers game like everybody says?
I would say it honestly, some guys they would knock like 50 doors and get like 3 like claims booked. Wow. Some guys would just knock 150 not get shit. Yeah. So like there's both ends to it. I would say there is luck to it, but with enough volume, everything like volume negates luck. Yep. So with enough reps, anybody I feel like can be good door to door, but not everybody sticks to it long enough for them to actually see the fruits of their labor. Yeah. And like as in the managed positions that some people are in, like I'm in, it's like you see the reps come and go, and you train them, putting all your effort into like helping them maybe get good, and they leave after 3 months. Yeah. It's like replace them as a hassle for sure. Yeah. That's like the hard part. But when you find a good door to door guy, then you've won gold pretty much. For sure. Yeah. So you would say like overall, like knocking is like, it's pretty much a numbers game, but there are things you can do within the numbers, like become more efficient. Like the best guys, like sometimes they'll hit 50 doors, get 3. Sometimes they'll get 150, get nothing, So is there any, like, in terms of like the tricks that you see, like is there any like things that you, like approaches or anything like that you see like works really well? Well, if you've seen like the guy who sells window cleaning, I like his opener a lot. Mm-hmm. This Josh guy. But pretty much it would be like, have you seen like handsome guys like the gray shirts or whatever? Yeah. Handsome guys in the blue shirts. Like it works. If you're funny, it works no matter what you do. Yeah. But the idea is just to be genuine. So the guys who like do it for a while, it sounds like, you're actually talking to a neighbor, as opposed to like, oh, I'm trying to sell you something, another door-to-door salesman. And if you're able to kind of make that distinction, then I would say you can make a lot more money. And part of it is also the time of the year, because like some guys, they would absolutely crush it no matter what. Because even if it's like, if your roof's completely like, screwed over, and like you need it to be replaced, and you just happen to be there, but they're like, I don't really like this guy, but I really need my roof replaced, might as well. Yeah. So even by luck, you can get some sales. For sure. Those guys are only at the top of the funnel. But to get the most sales, obviously you gotta keep improving the skills, keep honing in the craft. 100%. So you would say like almost like blend in like you're a neighbor, Like try to like get into that identity instead of being like a sales guy. Like, hey, I'm trying to sell you a roof, So it's like that pattern recognition stuff. Got it. Sounds good, dude. That's pretty much all I got. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so now that we've talked to an expert door knocker, we're gonna go into a live campaign, compare the results apples to apples. So 100 hours of results of door knocking and 100 hours of results with paid ads. So as you can see right here, this is a campaign that we set up. It took us hour, maybe 2 to set everything up, but keep in mind, like we do have like thousands of hours of experience, so your results may vary. But you can see up here on the top right, about 100 hours the last couple days. So let's go through the results real quick. So as you can see, about 250 leads, 249 to be exact, on 5,328 spend. So that has us sitting at a $21.40 cost per lead, which is pretty solid. And this is in the same market as as a door knocker was knocking in as well. So here are some KPIs to go over. So like I already said, $5,328 spent, 250 leads generated, $21 cost per lead. So out of the 250 leads that we generated, we were able to contact 112 of those leads. So we're calling them instantly. So our contact rate was okay on this campaign, but our booking rate was fantastic. So out of those 112 leads that we were able to contact over the phone, we were able to schedule an appointment with 74 of them. So we're trying to schedule the appointment for as soon as possible to make sure that our show rate on those appointments are as high as possible. And it was solid on this campaign. So 61% pretty much on this campaign, at about a $72 cost per appointment when you break it all down. So out of the 74 appointments that we booked,
and the ones that showed, we were able to bag 17 jobs with this campaign. The closers are, doing a solid job on this. 22.9% close rate, which is in a pretty solid range. Okay, could be better. So our cost per acquisition is pretty nutty, which is the most important KPI out of all of this, is how much does it cost us to acquire a client? How much does it cost us to acquire a job? So it costed us $300 in the last 100 hours on this campaign, generating $187,000 in revenue. I think was an average ticket about $11,000. So keep in mind, this is gross revenue. So this is top line. This is not net profit. So killed it on the paid ad side. So when you compare that to the door knocking KPIs, it's pretty interesting. So out of the 100 hours spent on door knocking, so you knock about, and these are like rough estimate, pretty accurate numbers by, like I said, talking to a ton of people and talking to Amir, spent about 100 hours door knocking, able to knock about 1,000 doors. Out of the 1,000 doors, approximately 20% of these people contacted, they opened their door and said, hey, what's up, get off my lawn, or we're interested in some type of way. There was some type of contact between the knocker and the prospect. Out of the 200 people that contact, approximately 20 of those people booked, so approximately 10% of contacts book, which is solid. So that gives us a booking per hour at 0.2 bookings per hour. Show rate a little bit higher than the ad side, so about a 65% show rate. We were able to close 4 jobs at a 20% close rate, generating $44,000 in top line revenue. So obviously there's a big discrepancy between the paid ad side and the door knocking side, but obviously there's pros and cons with both. So if you're somebody who doesn't have much capital right now, doesn't have a whole lot of marketing experience, then I would definitely get on the doors. The doors, this is $44,000 in revenue that was generated for free. It just took a lot of legwork, right? It took a lot of, 100 hours, generating you $44,000 in top line. Pretty solid, pretty efficient numbers. Once again, your results may vary, but these are some experts here, doing these knockings. But if you do have some budget, you do have some money to play with, I do recommend playing around with a paid ad system and getting that off the ground. Because with paid ads, it's a lot more efficient. They work 24/7, you can't knock 24/7, obviously. So a lot more of an efficient system. And obviously our output in this specific comparison was a lot better than it was for door knocking. But like I said, door knocking is free. So really depends on where you're at. If you don't have a ton of cash, get on the doors, get good at it. It'll help you in the sales process as well. If you have some money to play with, you're a little bit more experienced, I do recommend that you go on the paid ad side and figure that out.